countdown.
All right, we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever everybody's watching this. I'm Coach RJ. I'm with a good friend of mine, Richard Powell, and today we want to inspire you to get 1% better. We want to see you be the best versions of you, and ultimately, we want to see you change your lifestyle and grow into the next level. Now, today is we're just going to off the cuff it. So for all the viewers out there that are used to around a 10-minute podcast from me, today we're just going to freebase it, but we promise it'll be less than, we'll say about 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes for sure.
I'm a talker, you go.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, we got to talking. It was just like, hey, we just need to just sit down because we're just gonna, we need to get it on camera. So I made a few notes, and I want to start off with something that kind of stood out to me when we were talking just now. Is the alkaline diet. So for everybody out there, basically I offer this guy lemon water, right? So he's got his lemon water right here. And I added stevia, lemon water, or lemons, ice, water, and that's it. And pretty much it's like your lemonade.
Tastes beautiful too.
Yeah. And I was trying to talk to him and tell him about the stevia, it doesn't have an impact on your blood sugars, but it's also very alkaline. And then the lemon, right? So lemon by itself, when you ingest it, actually gets super acidic at first, and then it gets converted to an alkaline state. And so basically you have negative, right? So toxicity. So anything that's in an acidic state would be like your Coca-Colas, right? Red meats, right? Red meats. Any of the dark, really stronger alcohols, they all kind of sit down in that acidic. And then your dark green vegetables, right? A lot of your fruits, lemons, right? Those are all on the alkaline state. And then water is right in the middle at basic, meaning it has zero impact on whether you're alkaline or acidic.
Right.
Now, I remember me personally, so we'll tell a little bit my story, but I want to know about yours in a bit. When I fractured my knee in February, I would say my body was in the most acidic state that week than it ever has been.
Right.
I just got off a flight that week, like a week before.
So you're eating badly.
Yeah, right. And so you're dehydrated, right? Your everything is all just off. I was eating bad that week because it was the last of our vacation, so we kind of went all out.
Yeah, buffet style.
Right. I'm getting back to work, so I'm not sleeping properly. My water intake was really low. I was consuming a lot of BCAAs and pre-workouts and that kind of stuff, which have the what are they called? Artificial sweeteners. And so the artificial sweeteners are highly acidic as well.
So that's bad for you.
Yeah,
I never knew that because I drink one of these big bottles every single day. Oh
BCAAs, yeah. So the BCAAs they have aspartame or sucralose or whatever it is, and in them they're actually really acidic. Like they're not super acidic like a Coke, but they're in that lower range, right? So 10 is high, 0 is low. 0 is like a battery acid, right? And 10 is like your green vegetables, right, at the top.
Right.
And so it sits in and around a 4. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where 7 is water, right? So it's low.
Right.
So I was when that happened, I knew that was a contributing factor to my knee, my bones just not being healthy, my joints not feeling good, my muscles being achy. And so when you talked about, you said that you had a tumor.
Right. I had a lump. It goes back, but this is just to jump straight to the part where I had a lump. So I had a lump in my body, and it took me out of work. And after I got over the initial stage of just feeling sorry for myself and why is this happening to me, all this type of stuff, which everybody goes through, right?
Yeah.
I suddenly got into the state of, okay, so it's on me now to make this difference. I can sit in this, and it's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. If you don't switch from the mindset where you think you're dying, your mind is so powerful that it will switch into the place where certain things, I'm not saying it will kill you, but you're not going to get better. So I had this feeling inside me that I needed to switch some stuff up. So I went through all these different kinds of diets.
Okay. So give me an example.
For example, I just started eating clean. So I'm like, okay, well, enough with all the crap.
Okay.
So
what's clean? Okay, crap.
Right.
Goes McDonald's. Because a lot of people have a different definition of what clean is.
Right. So for me was whole foods.
Okay.
Every single meal would be consistent of potatoes, vegetables, and a meat without the incredible sauces that I like to drink.
I'm a sauce guy too.
Right.
Okay.
So, but what I found was those types of meals were making me sluggish at lunchtime every single day.
The whole food meal?
The whole food, but more specifically the the carbohydrates.
Okay, yes. So it does not the carbohydrates from the French fries, but the carbohydrates from
the potatoes.
Potatoes. Okay,
Right.
go on.
Right.
Yeah.
So not fried, anything, just boiled or whatever.
Yeah.
Clean, like made without frying.
Yeah.
So then I switched it up.
Okay.
I switched up to the keto diet.
Okay.
Which, I know a lot of people have this sort of, it's just like a fad type of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd try it out.
Okay.
And I switched onto that. Lo and behold, that diet shrank my lump down.
Okay.
To an incredible, like 80%.
So give me an example. So you 80% decrease in the what's it called? But the tumor. But what about what were you eating then?
So I was eating. So I mixed a big part out.
Okay.
I was very concerned about this leaky gut syndrome. I don't know if you heard about that before. So I work out every day. Yeah. I go to the gym every single day, and I just couldn't get rid of this little lump that I've got in the front of me. Yeah. I'm doing everything right. Yeah. And I still just can't. And I started contributing it to my age. I thought, well, maybe it's just my dad bod,
But he's only 34.
Right. 35.
Yeah.
But 35 years young.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I started looking into why do I have this gut? I feel like it's inflamed. And then I fell upon the leaky gut syndrome, and I started listening to a couple of doctors' YouTube videos. Yeah. Started talking about consuming bone broth and cutting out certain types of greens. And which ones were they? It was more the sugary ones.
So like corn, carrots.
Yeah, exactly. Anything which I wish I had a list of them now, but the things which contributed to the bacteria growing in your gut, because there's this certain bacteria which sort of attaches itself to your gut and eats through your gut. Okay. And it leaves little micro slits in it. Okay. So then, not to be too disgusting, but then fecal matter can get into your gut and your gut becomes inflamed. Ah. Right. Okay. Right. So by doing the broth, and this is the reason for the bone broth, which probably sounds disgusting to the viewers to think that we're drinking this.
I think a lot of people are going through it.
Right.
They just don't even know what it is.
Right.
I honestly, right now before now, I thought I knew what it was, and what I thought is completely different.
So anyway, this bone broth that you drink, when it's warm, is like liquid. When it cools down, and this is like room temperature. When it cools down, it turns to gelatin. So these micro slits in your gut get sealed by this gelatin, and then for some reason, then you're able to build back the barrier between your gut and your stomach.
Did not know that. So one of our sponsors is Bones and Marrow.
Oh, there you go.
They're a couple members of ours.
Right.
And I think in January or something like that, they're going to be our next sponsor. I had no idea. I like the taste of it. Right. It just tastes like soup to me.
Right.
And so I would just pound that stuff. Right. But I had no idea that that's what that did. So basically, you have little micro holes based around maybe the foods that you're eating, right? Because they're just burning, highly acidic foods will burn through your stomach.
Exactly.
And so if there's a micro hole, it's like having a little pinhole in a waterbed.
And these things thrive on sugar.
Oh, okay.
So sugar is literally the devil.
Yeah.
To your gut.
Oh, wow.
Like sugar, this stuff it feeds off sugar.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate the sugar.
Yeah.
And start drinking the bone broth. Yeah, you'll see magnificent results from your gut.
So we're talking about somebody that has a distending stomach, almost like yesterday.
Absolutely.
I was at my buddy's house and he had all this pasta and all this stuff. He comes and he walks in. Right, we're sitting watching football. He walks in. He's like, look at my stomach, and he was sticking out to here. And it's I call it dick do when your stomach sticks out further than your dick does.
Oh, dude,
right?
Yeah.
So
I remember them days.
So basically, that's going to help decrease the inflammation in the stomach. So I think a lot of people can benefit from that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's something that's not widely discussed.
Yeah.
Not many people are drinking bone broth. I know it sounds disgusting, but you can make it nice. And also you can make it into
You make your own
soup.
or you buy it?
I actually make my own. Okay. And you can go to most butchers and they'll give you free bones.
Right.
So all you need to do is the same as making any type of vegetable broth or a chicken broth.
Give you free bones.
They give you free bones.
Wow.
Absolutely, because they cut them. They're just going to throw them out.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is you get your bones.
No idea.
And you add in, there's lots of recipes on YouTube, but add in the regular stuff like celery.
So Richard, this is what I want to do.
Sure.
I want to bring you back. I want to get you. So my wife has a cooking show on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
It's called Nary's Kitchen.
Nice.
Let's do a Nary's Kitchen. Create your own bone broth.
Let's do that.
I don't know how my bones and marrows guys
Let's
feel
do
about that. I know a lot of people want to cook, right?
Hey,
so they can go and buy it for $10.
But maybe those guys can chip into those. Because I'm not saying that I'm a chef or anything like that. If they have something to contribute to that to make it taste better, I'm all ears.
Yeah, so you could. Yeah, theirs taste amazing. I'm sure that when we do it, it's not going to taste as good, but it'd be more to eat for health benefits.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
and just on that note, I actually blog and do. I have a YouTube channel called Mental Health Warriors, spelled with a Z.
Mental health. That's yours.
Mental Health Warriors.
Mental Health Warriors. Okay.
Yeah, and we talk about all sorts of mental health issues, and I'm trying to break down the stigma between society and mental health, because everybody at some point or another deals with a mental health issue.
Yeah.
Whether that, and I'm not saying the people who are walking around talking to themselves. I mean, just you're feeling low and you can't get the energy just to go and do what you're meant to be doing here.
Yeah.
Or you've gone so far off the path that you can't see your way back. Like I was there. But not to get into that too deep right this second, but what I put out there today was one which I thought was uncanny that we spoke about, is that we can learn from every single person out there, like every man, woman, and child.
Yeah.
And the child part is the part which is emphasized on.
Right.
Because some of the stuff we used to do as kids, say you had an argument with one of your friends.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, you're friends again, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, because there's so many things which we go into thinking about and all these rules that we've put around ourselves, suddenly we're like, okay, I can't talk to this person ever again.
Yeah. You know what? I think social media has a contributing factor to that. Like, I love social media.
Right.
I look at, like, I'm everywhere, right? I love it, right? Because we're able to contribute in a positive way, right? There's consumers, and then there's people that are giving, right? Like, we're producers,
Absolutely.
Right? And I still consume a lot of social media, but I have it all directed, right? Like, I find myself, I'm in my worst when I'm, like, just endlessly looking at Instagram, post.
Right.
You become envious, or you get upset, or there's something in there. So too much of it is not good in the wrong capacity. But I feel like a lot of people still feel like they're connected to these people, and as such, they don't need to have any type of communication with these people. So, for instance, like you and I could be like, oh, I haven't seen Richard in 6 months, but yet I watch his stories and I like his Facebook pictures. So that means that, me and this guy are still good. But it's like, no. Like,
that doesn't mean anything.
You know
really.
what I mean? You could have did this through Skype or through Zoom or whatever, but it's like, no, I want to get there with this guy.
Well, that's one thing that we're forgetting about nowadays as well, the face-to-face communication.
Everybody hides at home and they work from home. Like, I could work from home all day. Yes. And I found that really depressed me.
Right.
Yeah.
You're the same as me, because I like to be around my people.
Yeah.
This is one thing that I found out about myself, actually, is that I think this has more come to me as an adult, or in the, my last 10, 15 years as an adult, that I find myself an extrovert introvert.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Break it down.
So so I went to a amazing event in New York with my mentor out there, Rick Tamlin. He's an activational speaker, sort of a play on a motivational speaker and facilitator. And I found myself, because a lot of people, I didn't know many people there. I was there with Joey, Joey, right? Yeah. And there was a point where I was just following around Joey like a little sheep. Yeah. A little bit worried, a little bit scared about what people thought of me, and like,
nobody even knew you.
Right. And thinking like, oh, if I start talking my stuff over there, they're going to think that I'm an idiot. All that self-talk that goes on in your head.
Yeah.
And then there came a point where Joey was talking to another girl, and I was like, hey, Joey, where are we going to sit?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know, just go and talk to someone. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like, and God bless Joey, he's awesome, like, by the way. I love Joey, he's my coach. He's
my coach too.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah. He's
an amazing guy.
Yeah.
But he kind of forced me out there.
Yeah.
Forced me out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
But then, which I found with so many different things when it comes to your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I stepped out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
started speaking to people, and then suddenly amazing things started to happen.
Yeah.
Like people who were in my realm of business.
Right.
Were talking to me about their theological views on it, and like how they did it in their different areas, and suddenly I was like, wow, this fear, which I was hiding behind, was my biggest enemy. I needed to get rid of that fear, and then opened up the door to so many things.
We see a lot of that coming through the gym. So, for instance, somebody sees one of our Facebook ads or they see one of our videos, and then they have to muster up the courage, right, to just say, "Okay, like, I'm going to opt in for this, get more information, or I'm going to go down," right? And so when we talk to people, like, you can clearly see that they're in pain, right? You wouldn't have come into our facility if there wasn't some type of pain that you're going through. And like, our whole mission is to help you to cure that pain, right? Like, that's exactly what we do. And so when somebody sits there, they become this, like, they took a big step to get there. But then when they get there, they almost talk themselves out, "Oh, I'm going to think about it." And then they start to like weigh in all the other balloons in a room.
That's called the saboteur.
Yeah.
The saboteur starts to speak
it's like
to you.
You came there because you had a problem, and then you stuck around, but you didn't like commit to it for even a short. And we make it such a $21 for 21 days, $30 for 30 days. Like, we make it so easy for you.
Right.
And then at the same time, like me personally, I understand that a lot of the people that come and see us, and including myself, we're not put in environments where we're actually engaging with a lot of people.
Right.
So it's like, we're working out, we're going to give you a wicked workout, and we're going to get you amazing results. But at the same time, we want to put you in a room where you're in a room with other like-minded individuals.
Right, in the same place as well.
In the same place, and they've been there. So
right.
A lot of people look at the people in the workouts and they're like, "Oh, that woman's in really good shape." I remember hearing that about a client one time. She's like, "Oh, all these people are super fit." I'm like, "Really?" Because that person just told me that they feel like they're not fit at all. In fact, they told me that they feel like they're 50 pounds fat.
Right.
And that person there just started 2 weeks ago. And when she started 2 weeks ago, we had to go give her a vitamin C tablet because her blood sugars were all shot.
Right.
And now she's able to finish the workout. So no, none of these people are like, like Michael Phelps conditioning.
Right. Absolutely not. But the thing is, with your guys, I watch your videos on YouTube and stuff like that, your different coaches, and it's really inspiring. The things that comes across from those videos is, you're not just coming for a workout, you're coming to hang out with like a family group, and you're going to push each other to the point of not being abusive to people, but you're going to try and get them to a new level.
Yes.
Get into that new level. You need that accountability.
Right.
And so much, if you don't have a coach out there, you need to get a coach.
Everybody.
Because you need that, especially if you're self-employed.
Yes.
Because you've got no accountability.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And
who's watching over you?
Right. Yeah. And everyone thinks, they look into the world of entrepreneurship and people who aren't entrepreneurs are like, "Oh, you've got all this time,
all this money.
You've got all this money. You get to take a day off whenever you want. You start the day whenever you want. You take the weekends off." It's like 5 minutes into that, you realize that's all BS. It's absolute BS.
Yeah. Then start a business.
Right. Yeah. And then you find yourself bankrupt, right? Because you got no customers. You got nobody. Because you've got to
payroll.
Right. Because especially if you're. One thing I love about you, RJ, is that you're an avid reader, just like myself. Yeah. So, I'm sure you've read all these leadership books, and the things which leadership books make you realize is you must lead by example. And this goes in every single part of your life. Like, if you wanted to be a great father, you can't be standing there and saying, "Do this, do that, and do the other," and doing something completely different. Yeah. Because when you're not around, your kids act like you. Yeah. They don't act like you tell them to, they act like you. Yeah. And that's one thing that, parents need to get through their heads very quickly.
So speaking of that, that's actually how we evolved from No Limit Training. So No Limit Training was my brand originally. I just created it because it was just like, "Oh wow, I'm getting paid to train people. This is awesome. I'm 23 years old, right? I can go and quit my phone calling job, right?"
Right.
And so when I started, it was all about training young hockey players. So I trained anywhere from literally 6 years old all the way up to 26 years old, right? The older guys were pros, the younger guys were just getting going.
Right.
And so the most fun and entertaining workouts that we had were the parents that were just super psychotic with it, like those ones that are wagging their fingers and they're sitting there drinking coffee and donuts and watching, right? But they were the ones that were like, "Okay, let's get in there, let's work out with my son. You know what I mean? It's like, what do I need to do to eat better, right? And so these guys were working, so we had teams that we're working with, and their parents would come, like usually the dad's a coach or whatever, and the other dads would come. And as the kids were going through their hockey camps, I was still training the dads.
Right.
And so the dads were bringing their kids to come and work out more often because they believed in it.
Perfect.
And they understand what type of work was required, not just like, you need to work out like Cindy Crosby or be the next, like Michael Jordan or all that kind of stuff. But no, these guys were like understanding what it was. And then it eventually evolved from 50-50, where I was like training 50% the teams and the kids still, and then the adults. I just felt like, for me personally, I was able to connect and make a bigger impact on the adult because they control the resources, they control their own lives, whereas the kids, it comes from up down, right?
Right, and then because that's their major.
And so if I can inspire the parent to be 1% better, right, through health, fitness, then they're going to inspire their wife or their husband or their grandparents or their kids.
I love that 1% better saying as well, because again, I made a post about a week ago saying, most people think of, okay, I want to implement a new habit, or I want to get to a certain place in life. And then they think, I'm here and that's over there. And it's like trying to jump from the bottom of the ladder to the top rail. It's like, and they give up. But the thing is no, you've got to break it down to a granular level and do it 1% at a time. And the thing is, you do it 1% per day. It's very easy to do 1% per day. By the end of the year, was it 36 times better than you were at the start of the year? Well, everybody's.
I think what happens is that you, especially for us entrepreneurs and business, and we read a lot of books and stuff like that. And even with our clients, we come in with a 10x goal, right? But now, I'm not against 10x, right? Gary Vee and all those guys, right? I'm not against 10x. But I'm also with the 1%. So basically, you got to have your grand vision. So if your grand vision, if you're just starting working out, is like, okay, my grand vision is to drop 50 pounds. And I'm not saying it's not. That's your goal. If you want to make 50 million, then that's fine. That's your goal. Let's cater to that goal. But in the end, you have to break it down into smaller chunks to be able to get there. And so you need the combination of the two, because if you aim too low and that's your like final goal, you're screwed. Because it's so hard to set goals.
This is, I've got a great saying that describes that. It's like, you got to aim for the stars instead of the top of the tree. Because most people aim for the top of the tree and they hit it and then sit there. And that's it. They're like, and they're almost scared to go anywhere else because they're like, I've achieved this. People are respecting me right now. But if I try and do something else and I don't do it and I fail, people are going to think, oh, that was a fluke. Where it's like, no, that, again, the failure is what, we forget that. About like riding the bike. When we started riding bikes and would fall off. Now, every single time, I remember my mom taking the trial riding bikes, the what do they call those? The training wheels off. And I came home with like bloody knees every weekend, like, and then suddenly you can ride the bike and it's easy to you. Right, and that's it. And this goes into the stuff which I teach about is the conscious and unconscious mind. So the unconscious mind is once you've built a habit that's you've done so often that you don't even think about it. You know, when you're driving along,
pulling into my garage.
You don't think about like how you turn the key on, put the foot on the gas, go. You don't think about that. You do it without thinking unconsciously, and that just. And most people think, if my life becomes all about habits, it's going to be so regimented and boring. It's like, no, that frees up time. That's how you free up time, because you can do these things without thinking. And once you don't have to think about that, you can go ahead and think about the thing that you want to concentrate on. That's how you get to become a high achiever. So like, right now I'm setting up a course, which is 100% free, is called the 3-week Break a Habit course. Okay, so we're going to be putting in 3 weeks. We're going to be basically taking it from, and there's not going to be, no price to this because I just want to get people started.
So how do we get, so 3-week Break a Habit. In those 3 weeks, are we going to build a habit?
In these 3 weeks, this is the thing. Because you know where I'm going with this. You know, because the routine is what we're changing. Yes. The habit, let's talk about
this. Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm 100% sure that you've read his stuff.
Absolutely.
When I read his stuff, that made more sense to me and gave me more growth in my life than any of the physiological books that I've read.
Right.
Learning about keto meant less to me and my business and life than it did about creating and breaking habits.
Right. Absolutely. And the habit, the routine, it's just because we get so used to doing the same thing over and over and over again, is okay, what's the cue? And your cue is, you get hungry, and then your routine is going to eat whatever you can quickly, and then the reward is you're not hungry anymore.
Yes.
So with these bad habits that we do, it's the routine that we need to change, but we need to also be very aware of what our cues are.
Yes.
Because this is one of my stakes in the game.
Okay.
Is that people really don't know themselves.
Yeah.
I ask this to people all the time. How well do you really know yourself?
Yeah.
And I always get this sort of like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Of course I know myself.
Yes.
But then if it's to do with stress, I'm like, well, what's the first indication that your body gives you when you're stressed out?
Yeah.
They'll either say nothing, they won't have a clue,
or
they'll give me the moment just before their head explodes. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's about 15 steps before that, which your body tells you.
Yeah.
This is something you need to change, right?
Yeah.
This is your cues.
Yeah.
So if you ignore all these cues, basically down the line, it's going to be the very worst case scenario that you start acting on.
Yeah.
And you put the routine of panic in.
Yeah.
And then that's just run away.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, if you actually take the time to, and I'll get to my story where I turned on this point in a minute.
Yeah.
But if you actually take the time to write down all of your cues, like when does this cue happen? Why does it happen? Who am I around when this is happening? You know, because a lot of the time, like we react to the environment. But we need to be proactive. So if we get to know all these things about ourselves, we can then put into place a routine which will push us forward into somewhere we didn't even believe we could go.
I remember when so I never drank ever until I was about 28, and I did that because I was working, setting up my business, buying my house. I took everything was set when I was 28, and when I hit 28, I said I'm going all out. Right, and I started partying, and I would drink every day. I wasn't alcoholic.
You made 10 years up. Right?
I would, exactly. I would drink just to go out and party, right, and be in the scene and be the man dancing on stages, this and that. And then after that, it took me a long time to get my way. A lot of people, so I was still training at that time between 28 and about 30. Okay,
right.
So that's 3 years, but I did 3 years of everything, right? And then so by the time I turned 30. And I wanted to get back to my life. So this is when I said, okay, I need to take myself serious. That was one of the things I said to myself. And I went and took a course and this and that. But it was hard to get out of those cues, right? Like Friday is a cue. Where's the boys at? Where are we going?
Right.
And then the bar, that's the cue. And then, being hungover Saturday, going to the gym and eating, and then rinse, repeat. And then Monday, by Sunday night, I would have been partying all weekend, and by Sunday night I would get major panic attacks because I got to go to work on
Monday's coming, and I've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like
exactly.
a bag of ass.
Exactly. So one of the things that I did while I was making my integration into the regular run, but it took me a year to get out of being known as the party guy.
Right.
Everybody thought I was a drug dealer. Because I had a house, I had a car, right? People would come to my house, they would party. It was, bigger, like a nice house like this one.
Yeah.
And they would come in at my house and party, and they would just assume that I was a drug dealer because I was always out on the scene.
Right.
But I didn't want nobody knowing I was the fitness guy. Not for those 3 years.
That's that mask though as well, right? That we all wear.
Yeah.
We're always very aware of what people think of us and stuff like that. And most of the time, you'll find that mask is actually detrimental to us.
Yeah, it is.
What we're trying to let everybody know about us isn't actually what we are.
Yeah.
That's not what we're about.
Yeah.
I went through that part of my life where it was all about me.
Yeah.
How I looked.
Yes.
What I did. How much money can I make from this person? How much money can I make from that? And you know what? That got me to a place of absolute depression.
Yes.
And that's where the mental health warrior stuff comes in.
Big time.
Is that, I went through I was always kind of a depressed kid, I had a bit of a, dodgy start in life, and, dad wasn't around, which isn't a major thing a lot of people go through that, but it's still, not to take away from it, it takes a toll on a boy.
And I think anything that you go through that makes an impact on you, right? You could have had too much money, too much love, too much of this and that.
Right.
And a lot of those people just like, it's too much.
Absolutely.
You could have a little, right? So everybody's got their own shit.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter what it is. Don't ever like say, you know what, no, a lot of
not
guys
belittle it, right?
Yeah,
Talk it down.
It's big to you.
So then my mom, she had really bad depression. Mm-hmm. So she was going in and out of hospital, and then I was going to stay at friends' houses. I'd go to different schools. I went to my grandmother's, my aunties, all these different places. So, I had this depression that kind of followed me around, and then I got to the point where I'm like, okay, well, I have to look after me because no one else is looking after me. Mm-hmm. So I became my own mentor. Yeah. And as a child, you know what children are like. You think you know it all, but you actually know nothing. Yeah. And as you get older, you realize you know even less. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, I started my own business though. I've always been an entrepreneur. Yeah. But I got into something because I was dyslexic at school. I didn't realize it until I was 16. Yeah. And by that point, I'd already got on the road of debauchery, drinking. Like you say, you never drank. Yeah. I went to the first nightclub when I was 13 years old. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. 13 years old. Like, this is in England though, right? And this is kind of a normal thing.
Yeah, it is.
You're right. Yeah. We're all, it's a culture. Yeah. And then so you're going down the bars every Friday, then it turns to every Friday, Saturday, and then it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, hump day, hump day, right? This is, you go out for the student nights, and suddenly you're drinking like an absolute beast, but that was like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 100%.
Right, badge of honor. I drank 10 pints last night, and I'm at work this morning. Like, you know what I mean? And that was the thing. Yeah. And I didn't realize the toll it was taking on me though, and I didn't realize the underlining stuff which was going on. That was making me want to do that on an everyday basis. And basically I was at a point where I just didn't like me. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like who I hung around with, even though I hung around all the time. And I didn't like the things we were doing, but I was still doing them because it kind of, you're trying to get away from you.
Well, you got that habit.
Right, the habit's going hard now. And your habits break, those types of habits break hard. And when you try and break them without the theory behind it, you end up, say, you go cold turkey from no drinking. And because you're not doing that, you replace it with eating really badly or something, and then it all falls apart, and now you've got an extra bad habit. You're like, so you're drinking and you're eating really badly, right? And that's how it works. That's always how it works. So anyways, so I got myself a business, painting. And I didn't like painting, but I knew that I wasn't going to have to read and write very much, and that was my fear. I was like, people are going to think I'm stupid if I do that type of stuff. So I didn't. So I ran at that. I started doing really well. Like, I was getting paid really well. And then suddenly, it got to the point where we needed contracts doing. And I was like, I don't know how to write a contract. I'm going to write a contract to this big company and going to laugh at me thinking that, I got a kid to do this. Right? So I got myself a business partner. He was all to do with the paperwork, and I was doing all the lads' work. Right? I got the lads working. I got all of this stuff. We fell into this job, which was like a big warehouse building to switch into flats or apartments, as you guys call them. And we're like, oh, this is going to be the big time one. We're like, oh, it's going to be like 100 and something thousand pounds. And so that's $200,000, like, right? So we were like, oh yeah, this is gonna. And if we did well on this one, we were gonna get more work off these guys. So we were like, we thought we'd hit the big time. We priced it from the floor. We put in our invoice. Within about a month, we realized that we priced like well under, so far under, far too low. Like probably half too low. So we started talking. Well, my business partner who dealt with all the paperwork, right? He said, okay, I'm going to go talk to the foreman and we'll sort this out. And so we got an extra price on it and we carried on the job, but it went on for so long I wasn't getting paid. And so I wasn't eating. And I was working 16-hour days, 7 days a week. Like, it was really tough. I hadn't paid my bills.
You're the boss.
And Like, I'm 220 something pounds now.
Yeah.
I was about 130 pounds then. That's why I wasn't eating. Like,
yeah.
It was
trying to work.
Right, trying to work 16-hour days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was that bad for money.
Yeah.
We were driving into petrol stations or gas stations,
yeah.
filling up, and I'd go in and say, oh, you know what, I forgot my wallet at home.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd fill out this form, and then we'd have to come back, we'd borrow some money off some people, and come back and pay it.
Yeah.
You know, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right? But it just did what we had to do. Like, mindset of like, we'll just get to the end of this job, and we'll get paid, and, you know, this will all go away. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get to the end of the job, you know, and it's gone on for forever. And like, I'm just depleted. I can't work properly. The work's getting shitty because I can't operate.
Yeah.
I'm asking my employees to lend me £5 so I can go and get something to eat for the night time.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And we went to pick up a check at the end of the job, and this company gave us the check. None of the extra stuff was on there. And we're like, well, what about the hidden extras? That's what we were calling the hidden extras. Yeah. They're like, we have no paperwork for that. And I looked at my partner and I'm like, you got all the paperwork, right? He's like, well, we just did it on a handshake. Like, he promised us we'll get paid. And the boss was like, nah.
Wow.
I was homeless.
Yeah.
That made me homeless.
Yeah.
Like that. I was on the streets after that.
Yeah.
I had to go home, pack all my stuff, have my van.
Yeah.
Luckily, packed it all into my van. And I went to sleep in my van. And so that was an incredibly low place. So it's like my mental health was already, you know, without sleeping properly, without eating properly.
The stress of owning a business,
right?
Like,
stress,
that's already like another layer that nobody really understands if you're working for somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
And the saboteur that we talked about before was on my shoulder saying like, see, I told you can't do this.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Your finances, you'll find a way to make it work. Right? If you got to live on the streets and eat food from the garbage, that's how you'll make your finances meet. Right. But how you feel mentally,
that's what will make you or break you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Because you take, and I tell this to people all the time, you decide what type of person you are. Mm-hmm. You don't let anyone else decide that, or your situation, or your history. Mm-hmm. You make a mental decision. You declare to the universe, I am going to. I am this person. Yeah. That phrase, I am going to, needs to get thrown away. Right. Because that means that you're not there yet. Yes. You've got to declare, I am that now. Right. And that's, I guess that's fake it till you make it type style, but you must envision yourself being this person. So anyways,
just like when people work out. Just say like, I don't eat that.
Right.
So this is the problem that people face, especially now with the holidays, is that they're going to get faced with, getting like treats and all this and that. And it's like, you can just simply say, I don't eat that. If they don't accept it, I'm allergic.
Right. Exactly. There's always a way.
Yeah.
But it's the same when you talk about smokers. Yeah. Who are like, oh yeah, I'm trying to quit. Yeah. Oh, right there, you've just declared to me that you're not going to quit. Oh my God. Because your words are powerful. Yeah. Everyone kind of runs away with their words without actually thinking about how powerful words are. And you know that whole saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me is absolute BS. Yeah. The words will put you in a place which you want to go to. So if you want to be great, you must declare to the world that you are you are great.
Believe it.
Believe it and then
achieve it.
Right, because it comes from in here. Just like anything else, anything you do, you vision it first. You don't just do things. You envision what's going to happen, then you go up and you do it. Yeah. You take away, if you failed, you take away what you've learned from that failure, adapt it and move forward. Yes. If you want to do it properly. Yes. Or if you just want to react to your environment, then that's going to be a very bad thing.
You're done. Let's go back to this cue thing, and we'll wrap it up right away. But you're talking about you need to have a cue. You need to have...
I told you I'd get you talking.
Go through it again. So cue, what is it again?
So you've got your cues, which is the trigger point. Something happens, something's triggered your cue to make action happen. Right. So then the routine of action kicks in. Yeah. And that's obviously what happens after the cue's been kicked in, and then you have the reward at the end. What are you getting for doing this routine? Right. Because we are reward-driven people.
Right. And so I think that's where, so our members, they have cues, right? So a lot of our members, we have people that are on the wall in under 3 years have done 1,000 workouts. Wow. So at that point in time, they don't need the cue. right?
No,
like if it's 5 in the
now
morning,
it's a habit.
they're up, right? It's no matter what, they come 6 days a week, they stick around, do 1 or 2 workouts.
At that point, they're actually kicking themselves if they don't get there.
Right.
Even Christmas Day.
Exactly.
You get me?
And so what a lot of people do lack is the reward. And so they keep chasing the same dragon. And so they get the cue. So they're like, their first cue is like, yeah, I got to just get to the gym. They get to the gym. Now they're going to the gym. And now they're just going to the gym. And it becomes repetitive, right? A lot of people talk to me and they say, well, you know, I'm bored. I need something else. Or I've hit a plateau. It's like, no, you haven't hit a plateau. You just haven't set a new target.
Right.
And most importantly, you haven't rewarded yourself for hitting your target.
Exactly. It's the micro wins.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing which we totally forget about is that we need to celebrate ourselves at every opportune moment. And I don't mean like go out and get absolutely off your head so you can't get to work the next day, but just acknowledge that you've reached a goal.
Yeah.
You know, I did this. Yeah. I feel good. Maybe go home and you have a nice meal and you know, you tell your family and
whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever
100%.
you know.
I'll tell you this though. So with me, I'm like, if you're whatever it is, if you want to go and get lit, like I got like you asked me, oh, you don't drink, and people just assume that I don't party. I don't party often. I'll party maybe once when the time is right. I make sure that everything is set. Kids are good tomorrow. I've got all my work done. Business is good. I don't have anything physical that I got to do tomorrow. I can literally be a loaf. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna commit that day to being a loser. Like I just 100%. That's what I say. 100%. Like
set the movies up.
Last Sunday, Sunday I was like, I got whatever. I got my food ready. Everything was ready. I knew it. I set myself up. I was like, I'm gonna be a loser just for one day. I'm gonna give that to myself because I worked my ass off.
Right. So that's your reward.
That's the reward. That's what I want as a
Absolutely.
reward. That's what I want to reward. Then that's my reward. Other people, if you know, I would say that if you go and then you can't get out of that. So for instance, if I partied on Friday or Saturday and then I partied till next Friday. That's not a reward anymore.
No,
that's breaking a bad old good habit and
that's an alcoholic.
You've got a problem,
right?
And so you have to understand the difference between the two.
Well, this is the thing as well. Like with, especially again, back to mental health is you got to understand if your cue is when you feel down, I go drink. Yeah. That routine does not work because it's a depression. It's a depressive.
You're right.
Depressant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And it's going to make things work. The following day, you think you felt bad on the Friday night.
Expect it to be
Saturday morning, you're going to be destroying yourself. I went through that for years.
Oh, yeah.
4 years.
Sunday was not a good day for me.
Right.
I questioned a lot of things on Sunday.
Right.
So that's not going to be my ongoing reward.
No. But once in a while, it's fun. And this is, I don't drink personally, right? But I say this to people. I hit my quota for my life of drinking a few years ago. So I decided that's enough for me. That's done for me. And but it was just my rewards were gone. There was no reward. I was just getting very, very depressed. And actually ended up trying to commit suicide at one point because of like all the things that I was doing, and it was so jumbled up in my mind. I didn't want to be here no more. But that was, I wouldn't take that away in that lump. I wouldn't change that for the world because it set me on a path of where I'm at right now. You know, it's molded me into the person which I now understand. Right. It's in the understanding though, right? Yeah. I think a lot of people, when they find themselves confused, that's when bad things start to happen. Yes. You must seek the understanding. Understand everything about you, understand what got you to where you are, and understand that you can be whatever you want to be. And I like to say, whatever you think you are, you are. Yeah. And when you're depressed, you're like, well, I'm just a bag of whatever. Yeah. You become that because you're living that every single day. Yeah. But if you can, again, back to the vision, if you can envision your life being blessed, and you know, I'm going to have an abundant life. Yeah. I'm going to live in abundance, not so I just have lots of money and I can be like this at the bar, but I can actually actively go out and help other people because our lives are meant to be about, it's not about us, it's about everybody else. The universe will sort you out if you're helping everyone else. Yes. And you won't have to have time to be feeling sorry for yourself because you're too busy making everybody else feel good. Yeah. And that feeling, to me anyways, is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. And I think what happens to a lot of people is they do have a vision of what they want. So they have a kind of idea of where they want to be. But the problem is they don't take a lot of action steps to get there. Right. So it's like, I already live in that place. But you're living in that place, but you're right here, right now. Right. So how are you going to be able to get there? And that's why we're talking about the 1%. Or I always say like shooting an arrow. Like how far can you shoot an arrow? And so it's like you got to shoot those arrows and then get closer and closer and closer, and you're just walking with the target, right?
Right. Yeah. I like that. That's a good analogy. Yeah. Absolutely. Those failures is like, that's one of the main keys is get over yourself. Everybody fails. It's okay. Yeah. And actually celebrate your failures. Yeah. Because you realize, that doesn't work for me. Yeah. Now I'm going to try it this way. Yeah. And that's how, and if you can build that tolerance up for failing at things and not taking it as a hit in your ego. Yeah. I can just be thinking like, okay, now I've grown because of that. I'm going to move forward. Suddenly you'll see the difference that is happening in your life so much faster because you're not in fear of moving forward. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Just like the top of the tree. It's at the top of the tree.
Dude, we can keep going with this.
Right.
So perfect example is Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's like my guy, right? Yeah, and I don't like him because he's winning. I like the whole organization because of the sacrifices that they make in order to stay at a high level. They're not afraid to get rid of toxic people, meaning like Randy Moss was one of the best receivers. Him and Tom Brady had the highest record season goals, but because he wasn't a good locker room guy, he wasn't a good fit for the team, right? And, a lot of people say, why would you get rid of Randy? If they had a losing season, they would say that he made the worst mistake. They went on and won the Super Bowl and this and that. But Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have been running that organization since 2000. So that's 20 years, basically.
That's how long Tom Brady's been playing for the Patriots?
2000. And so in the 2000, they considered him the GOAT of all time. But guess what? He's been to the Super Bowl 9 times. He's won 6 times. But what about all those other years?
Right.
He wasn't winning every single year at the Super Bowl, right? But yet he's considered the GOAT, right? Of all time, the greatest of all time. And so he's gone through a lot of failures, but he gets up. Makes a course adjustment, right? Ready, aim, fire, miss. Okay, let's go. Course adjustment, keep the target where it is. Ready, aim, fire. Boom, I nailed it. All right, well, let's move that target back a little bit further. Let's make this a little bit harder. And then it's ready, aim, fire, miss. Ready, aim, fire, miss. Ready, aim, fire, hit it. Now let's move it back. Right. But I can't move that target back another 60 feet and expect me to hit it within the next, 6 shots.
Yeah, I don't think you can call someone a true champion if they haven't lost everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not about you losing. It's about how you come back from losing. That's what makes a true champion. Yeah. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more because, even from my perspective, I was on the floor literally.
Yeah. In a van.
Yeah. Actually, that story goes further where I lost the van. The van. I was squatting in a house for a while. Yeah. Nah, I broke into the house and was squatting in the house. Okay. Yeah, trust me, this story goes deep. It's about half an hour story, so I don't have time to bore everyone with it. But
we'll bring it back another time.
Mental Health Warriors, it's all on there, so you can go and watch that.
Okay. So one little tip, because we kind of been talking a lot about motivation. You and I are just getting fired up amongst each other. Let's bring the audience back in here. So I find that whenever I get in my own head with depression, right? So depression, anxiety, however you want to classify it, it's just when I don't feel good. I feel tired behind the eyes. I know when it is. I feel like I've been sleeping, but I'm still ready to go to bed. That's basically how I feel. Is that I write it down and make it real. Right? So if it's stuck in your head, it just keeps evolving and growing to what it's like having a nightmare.
And expose the lies as well. Because we tell ourselves some of the biggest lies ever going. Yeah. And the way we speak to ourselves in our head, we wouldn't speak to our worst enemy that way.
Never.
So sometimes we need to check ourselves. Is this really as big a deal as we're making it out to be? And is this productive to what I want to do? Yes. Me telling myself this.
Yes.
If you wouldn't say it to your wife, then don't say it to you. And actually, some guys say some horrible things to their wives. Actually, but if you would say it to your kid, don't say it.
Or you wouldn't want it said to you,
or your
from
mother.
Somebody else.
Absolutely.
Imagine a guy was standing in front of you, and it's like you saying it to yourself, you accept it, but you saying something to me, and I don't know, like, or trust you. There's going to be a problem.
Right.
And I think most people look at it. Somebody came up to you and said those same words to you, to your face, and you don't know who they are. It's like getting cut off in traffic. Somebody's getting a horn.
Oh boy.
Right?
Oh boy.
So I want to go back to this though. So with depression, you have the thought in your head, right? And so those thoughts are good because it's fact that there is some type of problem. And the only time you're going to have no problems is when you're
in the ground.
6 feet under. Right? Yeah. So problems are always going to exist, right? There's
right.
always a new problem. In business, we're doing phenomenal at leads, right? We get a ton of people coming through the door. And the next thing you know, we're not getting these people to actually convert to members.
Right.
So we have a conversion problem. Okay, we have a conversion fix. Now we got to go back because we're not getting the leads. There's always some type of problem, right? The only thing that you can do is you write down what the problem is so that you can create an action plan so that when it does reoccur, you're prepared.
Right.
And so that's how businesses run. Do you have systems and processes in place so that if stuff were to go down, you can continue. You can continue. You have this is like when we had a couple people that left our organization.
Right.
And I would say within 48 we had everything back and running 2 to 3 days. It was a hit because it was like, it was like a mutiny. There was like 4 of them.
But that's almost like like for me, those types of things come along and I feel like it's the universe testing me. Mm. Like, how much do you really want it? I know you say you want it, but how much do you really want it?
Yeah.
Now what do you do?
Yeah. And I had to dig my feet in, right? And so it's like, okay, let me sit back and what is going on here? Because this is not an all them issue. Right. I'm not saying that they aren't part of the problem, but I'm also saying this is a me issue. Why is this? Am I not prepared for this? And so I had to like dig back and dial in and how do we create this so that this problem, if it does occur, which it will occur in the future, how are we better prepared for it?
Right.
Second of all, I wanted to make sure at the same time I didn't sacrifice my other elements, meaning my faith, still go to church, still pray every day. In fact, I got harder into it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And
Thank you.
So I didn't want to, even now while things are good, every day I reflect, I make sure that I'm still spending time speaking to God, speaking to Jesus, right? And then my family, like I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna like sacrifice me sitting in this room working all day, all night, just so I can get things back up to where they are. So I made sure every day, now that I'm working more, like actual physical hours, I'm either picking my son up from work or from school, or I'm dropping him off. There's no non-negotiable. There's no days that I'm not doing that. And if not, when I get home, everything's off.
Absolutely.
And I'm like picking him up and throwing him and whatever it is that even if it's me just holding him and we're watching whatever dumb TV show he wants to watch.
When it comes down to it though.
And I always worked out.
Oh, always. That's a non-negotiable for me too.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah. It's scary when people put that,
don't have
finances go bad. So that's the first thing they cancel. So you're going to get lazy, more out of shape, more tired so you can do less. Because you want to save the couple $100 a month that it's costing you.
Here's one thing which I like to play around with people who aren't necessarily too into fitness.
Yeah.
Is that it goes further than just fitness.
Yeah.
Like for me, I have my own personal mastermind inside the gym.
Okay.
Every single morning I get there and I've got my little black book that I write in every day.
Okay.
And because it's first thing in the morning, we're at our peak of cognitive ability in the morning for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I've got my notepad ready, and as soon as I start working out, amazing ideas start to come to me. Even if I've had something I've been thinking about, it's been jamming me up, I'm working out, it's coming to me, and I'm like, wow, write it all down. Yeah. So I almost feel like the fitness side of thing is a secondary thing, which I do when I go to the gym. I go to the gym to get my mind in a place where it can be like a high operator.
Yeah.
And getting a fit body or a fit club is just a side thing for that. That's my side hustle.
Yeah, it's nice to look good.
Right, absolutely.
So I'll tell you this, for our viewers, so our members, as you can see, like the majority of them are women, right?
Right.
And the majority of them are 30-ish, like late 30s, 40s, like maybe early 50s, that kind of stuff. And so for them, they're givers, right? Like my wife is a crazy giver.
Right.
She's 34 now, I guess.
It's one of the major things that I tell women, like, because they almost give too much.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, the thing.
But that's like telling us to work less.
Right.
Right.
But this is my major thing for them. Like, it always clicks home when I say this to them, is that if you look at this cup and you think of yourself as this cup and you're giving like parts of yourself away, you're not full cup. You need to be overflowing into their cup. Instead, because you're not giving them your full best like that. And the only way you can be at your best is that you look up after number one properly. Because you're, again, to go back to the parenting model of you modeling to everyone around you, this is the type of person to be. You can't be telling them and doing something else. And this is your vessel. If you want to live like a good life, a long life, without as many, health problems come along regardless, but without as many as they would do, you really need to be looking after this thing. And one thing which I noticed I was doing is like, I'm wanting to be a Ferrari, but I'm fueling myself like I'm a Beta. Right? I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to fuel my body like a Ferrari because I want to operate just like one. Right? And we got to remember that about ourselves. If we want to be our best, and everybody does want to be their best, you must feed your body. Like, you don't just put crap inside a high operating vehicle. Like, no, this all counts. And think about like your mental capacity.
How you take care of it. So like you got your fuel. So how are you fueling your Ferrari? Right? Or whatever you guys like, Lexus or Mercedes.
Right.
But how are you fueling it? So what type of gas are you putting it? And number two, how are you maintaining it? So what you eat is just as important as how are you maintaining it. So if you're driving your vehicle and you're constantly hitting potholes or you're letting all the salt and sand stay in your car, it's going to rust. So you got to work out and you got to eat right. Do you know what I mean? And you got to be mindful. You got to drive the car properly. And that's what it comes down to. But going back to the working out, we got to wrap it up because I got to be somewhere.
Sure thing.
Crazy long. We got a lot of viewers too. Is that when I find when people are working out with us at Fit Club, it's that one moment, especially the women's, it's that one moment that they can be 100% completely present. Because what is the problem? We get anxiety from thinking about the things that are potentially going to happen, and we get depressed worrying about the things that you didn't do. And so when you're working out, we don't give you time to do any of that. All you got to do is think about, what am I doing now? Oh my God, my body, I could feel it, right? Like, oh, I'm going to get so skinny. And you know what I mean? Like, this is great. I'm so tired and whatever. Holy crap, that was crazy. All right, where do I got to go to next? And that's it. And they move literally 6 inches or 12 inches to the next station. And then they go to the next station and it's like, and then you got a coach on the mic. Okay, Richard, I see you over there, brother. We're going to take this to the next level. I want to see you. You're getting positive affirmation specific to you. High fives.
Yes, sir.
High fives. Positive affirmation connection, right? The 5 love languages, right? And then it's like, great job everywhere. So words of encouragement. And so you're getting all those elements. And that's why I personally love Fit Club. And that's basically what we base it all around is that we have 30 minutes with you. So this 30 minutes is going to be the best part of your day. And that's literally on my doors. The best part of your day. 30 minutes is all you need. That's what we say. Best part of your day, 30 minutes is all we need.
Especially if it's intensive. Like, I've seen the videos. So I'm going to have to come and work out with you guys.
Come work it out.
Definitely. Now I'm representing the hat.
So keep that hat too. I want to see you rep that.
You're awesome, man.
Okay, so a couple things. I want to recap here. So, unless you got anything else, Richard. I want to talk about your podcast.
Do you know what? I could talk here for hours.
I know. We'll have to get you another one.
I'm always down.
So at Nary's Kitchen, I want to get you on there to do the bone broth. I think that's amazing. Mental health warriors.
Spelled with a Z at the end. Not an S, a Z.
So mental health, WARRIORZ.
That's right.
That's on YouTube. Go and watch your story about.
I've got my stories on there. I've got
start from the beginning.
Tools to use when you're having these types of days. And it's just sort of like help, just a support system. Not everybody wants to reach out for that support. And I find that YouTube is something that somebody can do anonymously and just get some value from it. You get value out of just listening. And sometimes, going back to like, you can learn from every person. Just hearing someone else's perspective on something.
Love it.
Can just
Dude, I put podcasts. So when I was going through my personal struggles this past summer with just things in the business, I just put on a specific podcast and I just drove it. I would all day. It would be me and this podcast all day, and it gave me so much clarity. Right. It's just hearing about that topic. Okay, so that's number 2. So mental health warriors. Number 3. the 3-week Break a Habit course. How do we get involved?
That's right. You can go to my Facebook page, Richard Shaq, SHAQ.
Okay.
Just push the friend thing. I'll friend you up and
tag you in there too.
Yeah, tag me in there.
Okay.
And and just DM me, and I'll send you all the details. I believe it's going to start on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what works best for most people.
So is there a hard start date or no?
It's going to be Wednesday or Thursday.
This Wednesday?
This Wednesday or this Thursday.
What time?
We're looking at around 5 p.m.
Okay.
5 p.m. I'm going to do a Zoom call.
Okay.
So everybody's going to be on the Zoom call. If anybody wants to sign up for it, again, it's free, and can't make that Zoom call, I will be recording it.
Okay.
And I will be able to send you it via email.
Okay.
So if you can't make that initial start date and you still want to get involved, you can just sign up. I'll send you the details and I'll send it all to you via email. And then from there, it's going to be gathering information on what your daily routines do, what happens, around the time and whatever. It's all very simple, very easy to do. I'll explain it in full to you. 1 week of gathering information, then we'll do a private one-to-one interview about how to implement your new thing and what you've been doing and all of that.
Okay.
And then we'll go for 2 weeks.
So get on the Zoom. You're gonna ask some of the participants some questions to go through an exercise, and then from there you're gonna give us some content, some stuff that we could take home. And then if we want to further pursue it, then you want to sit down with us or whoever one-on-one, and then help them give them some type of perspective.
Right. For the first 2 weeks, first week is going to be gathering, then we're going to go hard on taking out that horrible habit that you have.
That's all free?
And that's all free.
So not only are you going to, on the Wednesday, you're going to help us, give us some insight of how our day is, but then you're going to give us insight of how we can get the most out of our day.
Right.
On a one-on-one basis after that.
On a one-on-one basis.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. I've got about 20 people already, so
good. I'm in. And awesome. I'd like to give Joey Crampton a shout out.
Absolutely.
Right? So Joey Crampton is a personal development coach. And I worked with them last week and I posted my values. So he's got another event coming up November 18th. I believe.
Right, that's the Mercedes
I guess that's next weekend at the Mercedes. So 7 and 9. I'm not sure how many more openings he's got.
Everybody needs to realize, stop the ego.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a coach.
It is.
They watch you back, and 2 sets of eyes is better than one. Yeah. They tell you exactly where you could be going wrong. So you actually, the blind spot is covered by your guy. Yeah. So if you haven't got a coach, at least come down and listen to what he has to say.
Yeah.
Because he is one of the best in the city.
Yeah.
So, and he's still got a few spots left in his repertoire. Yeah. So get him while he's still available.
Yeah. Well, I got him hooked up with all my team.
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
We're good. All right, guys. So that's it. I want to see everybody get 1% better. I want to see you be the best versions of you. My boy Richard of Mental Health Warriors. Hope to see you on the blue.
Yeah, see you on the blue. I like it. Is my